let's say you turn on one of my YouTube videos and you see where it's like video after video and video of me using homophobic language, sexist language, perhaps even racist language. And it just seems like there's no let up on it. And like every story I tell involves that kind of bigoted, prejudiced, discriminatory language. That's intentional. That's me mocking people who do this all the time around other people. I mean, you go to parties and things, especially if you're a woman, and you go to these parties and you know, let's face it, mostly white people are using the homophobic stuff, but it really doesn't, like these days it's everybody, right? Like the homophobic terms, the racial, soft racism, the sexist attitudes where they basically just like fill the whole room with male voices so the women can only smile and can't get a word in edgewise. That's why you don't want me to go to your parties with you. Because I swear to you, I'm going to be there and I might have a big ass grin on my face. Because you're all like 21 and I'm 40. It doesn't mean that I'm there enjoying you at all. It means that I'm there kind of hating you for treating the women like crap. And the funny thing is that this attitude towards women and gays and non-whites, even when there's been integration heavily for the past 20 years, I went to parties when I was 18 and I saw this shit going on, especially towards women, because in those days the gays and the blacks were kind of doing their own thing. But now it's intermixed, but I'm still seeing a lot of like saying faggot, saying nigga, saying bitch and cunt and all this sort of stuff while you know, pour big stiff drinks for women and then pour them down their throat and then bitch and moan about other people and complain about other people while your attitudes are extremely bigoted. We're like in this lull where like for the past 30 years, men and people have pretty much just kept acting the same. You know, you would know this as a female. You would know this as a girl or a woman. You would know this as a gay person. You would know this as a black person or somebody who's Hispanic. And if you're there saying, you know, men don't have enough rights, you and I wouldn't be good friends anyway. If you were there like supporting Sharia law or Christian law, let's face it, if you read the Bible, it's gross and sexist and blood sporty just as much as the Quran is, and we just sort of let it go because it's a Christian nation. See, that's what I mean. You don't really want me at your party because I will be there and sort of accept this, but I'm like 40 years old. I've seen this for like 20, 30 years. Before I would just kind of like watch it. Now I have a grin on my face. I also have a YouTube channel. So if you see me using the terminology for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end, I want you to realize that I'm doing it to mock you and how you behave around other people. That's why I do these videos. I'm not doing them around other people. I'm doing them with me there to show you how you look to someone like me who's observing your behavior. You can't tell me that these dudes are not sexist. You can't tell me that a lot of these guys, these young guys especially, are sexist. And you can't tell me that there's a lot of people that don't grow out of this shit, that just keep continuing with this behavior because the women let them get away with it. And even when they don't, they're still fucking them and still dating them because, oh, he'll change. No, he won't change. If he's not a good dude, he's not a good dude. But you're there and you're like, oh, I want to hang out with white people because I'm brown. Same thing. You're gay and you want to hang out with straights. I'm not saying to accept it. What I'm telling you is to stop accepting this shit. Don't date these people. Don't party with them. Don't hang out with them. Because if I'm there, it's going to look like I'm having a great time. But then when I get back on YouTube, I'm going to be pointing out, yada, yada, yada. I went to this party with 21-year-olds, and the guys were the most sexist pieces of shit that I've ever seen. And they were racist, and they were homophobic. And the women and I will confer that younger males, usually younger males in this case, are probably what you need to avoid. That's my point. I don't understand why you're age phobic.